So I'm going to put the other H-frame on just to show you how rigid this is with the one wedge, and the bolt is still only finger tight, but you can move this quite confidently. And we want to put the other H-frame on here, and then now we'll drag this over to there. Then we're going to put the bench top into place. So right now the H-frame for the other end here goes in here like this. Now then, this is not level at all, so thankfully we get a little bit of play in the frame, in the apron. So let's go ahead and clamp this, and then we're going to repeat what we did at the other end. We're just going to bore through, bolt it together, drop the wedge in, and we'll do the same to the opposite side. Then I'll show you how to glue the main laminated bench tops in place. I've turned the bench around, so now you're actually seeing the end. This is where the tail vise is going to go, through this opening here, and obviously the rail is lower, so we can't put the carriage bolt, long threaded bolt through, so we're going to use a coach screw here to go through here. So I want the head to be recessed. I don't like the idea of a hex head showing on the outside, so a couple of inches, 2.5 inches up, just deep enough to take that head. Pre-drill to take the main shank of the screw. And one washer is already feeling very rigid without the bench tops even glued in place. That's where we're going next. We're going to glue the bench top to the apron now and clamp it and leave it overnight, let it set up, and that's going to give a lot of rigidity to the top. Then we'll fit the wellboard when this is all dried up. Take the clamp off, nice and solid, and now we're ready for the wellboard, for the bench top. I need to make sure that my bench is in wind. I can't have a twisted body, because when I put my bench tops on, there's going to be, the main bench tops, there's going to be some twist in there, and I don't want to rack it, so I'm going to line that up first. So I eyeball one side with the other. I've got a couple of packings here. I'm on grass. Well, that's perfect there. So I'm not twisted now, so I can drop my bench top in here, glue it, clamp it, and we'll leave it overnight. So we're ready now to glue the laminated sections of the bench top to the aprons, and that's a simple process really. We've already seen a lot of lamination going on. This is very beefy. Now I've checked this to make sure there's no gaps along the top, but I want to check there's no gaps on the underside to make sure it's square to the apron, because when I glue this, I want this whole surface to be glued to the whole of the inside surface here. So we're going to go back to our zigzagging with the glue all along this edge here. Plenty of glue. And then a long stream along the edge, along the top, like this. And another stream along the bottom edge. These midges are bad today. Move that end out, drop it down, and slide it into place. And because I pre-cut these to length, this is exactly the right length. So pull those together and we can start clamping this thing. Oops. I'm taking the biggest hollow. There's a big hollow in the middle here, so I know my laminated top is good because I checked it for square and straightness. So clamp. See, I'm just about 30-second above here. Get a good clamp on the end here. And just move along really, make sure nothing slides. It's where all the glue goes underneath, isn't it? See the glue coming out the top, that's great, I like to see that. You can only get glue from clamps from one side, but that will work just fine. Lovely. You need plenty of clamps on this really. I think probably you'll need 6 or 7 anyway. I've got 5 on now. Probably 7 I think will work. Oops. Good and tight. And that's me, so I can glue the other side in now and we'll leave that overnight and let it dry. We're about ready to cinch these laminated tops down to the bearer here on the underside of the bench. We've got bolts through the aprons into the main leg frame. I've got a clamp across the top here, across here, to make sure that these are fully seated into the housing dados on each side. And then I've got a clamp here that is pulling this down to this top here. So all I need to do now is drill through here. I'm slightly at an angle. I'm just taking up the bulk of the shank. I'm leaving enough meat on the wood there to take the screw threads. Oop. I need the washer. The washer will stop it from bedding in a little bit. With the clamp on there, I don't get the problem of parallel thread keeping the joint apart, so just a question of cinching this up now. I've done the other 3 corners and I've checked it for square. I took a straight edge across the end here like this, boom, just to make sure I'm dead square. It should be square. If it's not, you can always rack your clamps a little bit to pull it square. This bench already feels so solid. I've still packed it up so it's not twisted. And the slabs, you know, these bench tops just went straight on, no twist. No gaps either really, so seat those fully. And now that's really rock solid. So now I'm ready to fit the well board, just plane it parallel and drop it into the well area there. And I'm going to put a dado over this so that it gives me maximum depth in here. I'm going to put a dado and I'm going to feather this edge so this lines up all the way on this edge. I wanted the thicker well board. I like it a little bit beefier, so I've kept it thick and I'm going to take off a dado in there.